My uncle's old cabin has no cell signal, but I got a text from inside the woods. When my uncle passed away, he left me his old cabin in the woods of northern Maine. It's not the cozy kind you see in movies. It's small, cold, and hasn't seen a renovation since the 80s. Still, I needed a break from everything, so I drove up there alone last month to clear my head and figure out what to do with the place. There's no cell signal up there. Nothing. Once I passed the last gas station 30 miles out, my bars vanished and never came back. That's what makes this story so hard to explain. The first night was quiet, just me, some canned food, a few beers, and the creaking of an old place settling around me. There's something comforting about being that far removed from people. You can almost hear yourself think more clearly, but by the second night, I started noticing weird things. Nothing dramatic, just little details that felt wrong. For one, the front door was unlocked when I woke up, even though I remember bolting it. A couple of my things were moved, and I kept hearing faint noises outside at night. Footsteps crunching the leaves. Pauses. Then nothing. I figured it was wildlife. Bears, maybe. I kept a hatchet by the bed just in case. On the third night, I built a fire and settled in with a book. Around 1 a.m., I heard a knock. Not on the door. On the back wall of the cabin. 3 slow knocks. Then silence. My heart was pounding. I stayed frozen in my chair, just listening. Then it happened again. Knock, knock, knock. But this time from the opposite wall. I grabbed the hatchet and turned off the lantern. I waited for over an hour in the dark. No more knocks, no footsteps, nothing. Eventually, I convinced myself it was the wind or branches brushing the cabin. I forced myself to sleep. The next morning, I did a full sweep of the area. Nothing out of place, no tracks, no signs of animals or people. Still, I was creeped out enough to think about leaving early. But I stayed, and that night, everything escalated. I was lying in bed around midnight, listening to the wind in the trees, when my phone buzzed. My phone buzzed. I hadn't had a single bar of service since I got here. I sat up and stared at the screen. A new text message. It was from an unknown number. "Why did you come back?" My stomach dropped. I tried responding. "Who is this?" But the message failed to send. No signal, just like before. I turned on every light in the cabin and sat up all night with the hatchet across my lap. No knocks, no footsteps, just silence. The next morning, I packed my things. I didn't care if I was being paranoid. Something felt wrong about that place. Before I left, I opened the cellar door out of curiosity. I hadn't gone down there yet. Just a small wooden door in the floor with a padlock my uncle had left open. I figured it was just for tools or firewood, but what I found made my blood run cold. There was a pile of clothing, old, dirty, men's jackets, jeans, a boot, and a phone, a cracked iPhone with the screen still faintly lit. Dead but recently used, and scratched into the wood of the wall were words. "Don't answer the knocks," that's all. Just that one phrase. I stumbled out of the cellar, locked it behind me, and got in my truck. As I pulled away from the cabin, my phone buzzed again. Another message. This time, it was a photo. A blurry picture of the cabin, taken from the woods, taken from behind me. I floored it down the dirt road, barely breathing, checking my rearview mirror every 5 seconds. I didn't stop until I hit the highway and saw other cars. Eventually, I reached a gas station with service and called the police. I told them someone had been squatting near the cabin or trying to mess with me. They agreed to send a deputy out to check. A few hours later, I got a call back. The deputy didn't find anyone, but he did find the cellar and the clothes. Only according to him, the clothes were rotted through, like they'd been there for years. There was no phone down there. No writing on the wall. Just cobwebs, dust, and decay. That was 3 weeks ago. I haven't gone back, and I'm planning to sell the cabin as soon as I can. But last night, at 3:17 a.m., I got another text. "You left the door open again. I don't know how it's possible. My phone still shows no signal. The messages come through silently, without a notification. And when I try to respond, they vanish. I've changed my number twice. It doesn't matter. The texts keep coming. And last night, I woke up to find muddy footprints on my living room floor. I live on the 6th floor of a locked apartment building. I checked my front door. There were 3 faint knocks on the other side. I didn't answer. I don't know what happens if I do.